This Friday, Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are back to switch things up in Disney's Freakier Friday.
Totally. Yes.
It's an absolute riot.
Woo!
And the only movie that can be described as
So much weirder than the last time. What last time?
it's the frequel
You ready?
we've been waiting for.
That absolutely slays.
What deeply out of touch old person came up with that?
You did.
Wow.
Don't miss the comedy event of the summer for all ages. Disney's Freakier Friday in theaters this Friday. Get tickets now. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Hey all, I'm Jamie Lynn Sigler, a mom, actor, and advocate. I know how overwhelming it can be trying to decide which treatment is right for you. I've been there. But you should know you're not alone. You can do this. Start with some research, talk to the community, and most importantly, don't be afraid to ask your doctor questions. You might find results that speak for themselves. That's how I landed on Kesimpta. Ask your doctor if Kesimpta, ofatumumab, could be right for you. You can check out the details at kesimpta.com.
Pie in the Sky Media. This series contains adult language and descriptions of graphic violence throughout. Listener discretion is advised.
Right? 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome back, Criminal Mischief Nation, to another bonus episode of Criminal Mischief with Carolyn and Branden. I'm Branden, here, joined as always by the great Carolyn Osorio. Hello, Carolyn. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Brando?
Doing well. It's still hot in Los Angeles, but I feel autumn around the corner, and that makes me happy.
We've had some crazy lightning storms.
Mm-hmm.
Like rain, like lightning storms that light up the, just make it daylight.
Oh, yeah.
It's so powerful. We could just harness those lightnings. I mean, right?
1.21 gigawatts.
Crazy.
Yeah. That is crazy. Are your kids back in school?
No. This is their last full week off, which they keep talking about. Like, Mom, I can't believe it. We only have one full week left.
Well, tell them that my kids, this was the first day of their second week back at school.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So it's great. I've gotten so much work done since they're back in school. It's insane. It's really crazy how difficult it is to work from home, to be a work from home guy in the summer. It's really tough. It's really tough. So I'm very happy that they're back in school, and things are great. How was your week?
Oh, we had such a great week. We went and saw this awesome outdoor concert. It was Howard Jones,
Oh, nice.
ABC, and Haircut 100, and it was so great. It was the perfect venue. It was outside. It was like the singers were amazing. Like they still had it. Because that could go either way. When it's like
Howard Jones, was he No One Is to Blame?
Yes.
Oh, what a great
That was
song.
oh my gosh, it's so funny because I literally was recording that song and then I posted it on social media and I didn't realize that I'm sitting here singing the lyrics in the background.
Oh,
And
a great song.
That's like one of my favorite songs.
I love that chord progression. I learned that song on piano. That chord, dum dum dum, bum 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 bum.
Yes.
So
And I
good.
didn't realize that you could tell that he was an amazing musician, just listening to it. But it was so cool too, because there was this guy. It was like, okay, so I was on the aisle, so I'm getting to kind of do this, and there's a guy that's like,
Look out, everybody. Uh-huh.
Okay, can you not act like I'm backing up and I need like a beep?
No, I'm just saying, like, do your thing. Go for it.
I was until you interrupted me. Okay,
Yeah.
right. So there's a guy that I'm seeing, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm just like, it's just great. It sounds good. And he's so into it. He's so, and it reminded me, and I told my daughters this about what it was like in the 90s on the dance floor, where the girl would just be just going like this, and she's kind of doing her thing, and she's just in it. And then all of a sudden you kind of see this guy, and then he walks over and he just starts getting closer. The next song comes on and it's like they're just getting closer, right? They're not even talking. They're not even talking. And
They're
they are
talking
just
with
like,
their bodies.
no, I'm just saying. It's a different world, okay? Because they met their boyfriends on a dating apps. So like this idea of like,
see, we missed all that. We're in these
I know.
long-term relationships that started in the 90s, right? we missed all of it.
I know. So it was like bringing me back when I saw this guy, and he was just in his own, like he was so happy, and it was just great. It was so great.
So who are the other bands? Do I know any of their songs?
So ABC is that "Be Near Me, Be Near."
Oh yeah.
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 Shoot that poison arrow through your heart.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Poison arrow.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
And
Okay.
and my husband was pissed because I was actually like right in the middle of recording something, and he wanted to see Haircut 100, which is like they were the opening band, so he knows a bunch of their stuff. I don't know really. I think maybe I know like a couple. And I was like, oh my gosh, I almost had it done. And he's like, I'm waiting in the car. And so we were like 20 minutes late, and the show was like kind of over, his part of it. But by the end of it, it was like we were just so in it, and it was so great. So he forgave me. But
wow. I'm happy Howard Jones is still doing it. That's great.
Oh my gosh, he looked, and it was so perfect when he came out on stage. And he was like this little, I didn't really know what he looked like.
Yeah.
It's not like I was I love that song, No One Is to Blame. Like, I love that song, but I didn't really know what he was going to look like. And so he's like this old little guy now, but he had this 80s look that was just classic.
It's got to be almost 40 years old, right?
Yeah, he's like 70. I heard someone behind me and they're like, oh my gosh, I just Googled him and he's 69 years old. And I was like, okay, cool.
Did he do, hold on. I'm gonna lose my Gen X card on this one, but did he do the song Every Time You Go Away? You take a
No, I think that's Every Time You Go Away.
That's not how we're going.
Okay, Paul Young.
Oh, Paul Young, right. Okay. Another Englishman. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's
it was
great.
good. It was good. It was great. It was awesome. And it was great to be with a bunch of Gen Xers, and like everybody was just having a good time, and it was chill, and it was good.
I started watching the Little Steven documentary on HBO from the E Street Band and from The Sopranos.
Yeah, I saw an interview with him doing, I think, on something talking about kind of the Sopranos thing and how he wasn't an actor, and they were like, hey, we want you for this part. And then he ended up, I think that.
Yeah, what I didn't know, and I thought I knew everything about Springsteen and the E Street Band. I didn't know how prolific a songwriter Steven Van Zandt was, which I found really interesting. Across several bands in the 60s, late 60s and early 70s. He's the same age as Springsteen, and Bruce was just like, we were these outcasts, and we were instantly creative brothers because
I love that.
he was as passionate about the same shit that I was passionate about, and and so we just kind of had each other, and so it was really interesting, and he was very different from Bruce. Like, Bruce never really adopted the David Bowie kind of flair or the 80s like hair band kind of stuff. And Little Steven went through all of that kind of stuff. And Bruce never did, and Clarence never really did either. But because of that, they really bounced off each other really, really well. But then I had to make dinner, so I had to stop halfway through. But I'm going to watch the rest of it tonight. But I can't believe I've waited this. So many of my friends are like, you gotta watch Little Stephen Doc, dude. Oh, fuck yeah. E Street Man. And I'm like, I get it. But they're right. It's incredible. It's long. It's like a 2.5-hour documentary, but it's really.
Well, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. So yeah, that was my week. Just a lot of work and the kids back in school, and the volleyball season has started. So a lot of practice and driving to games and stuff. But just dad shit. It's great. I love it. No complaints.
Mm-hmm.
No complaints.
Good.
But, so all the more reason why this episode was really upsetting to me. With these girls that don't come home, it's you really know how to hurt a guy. But woo. So I got it's tough, really, kind of where to start. But I guess you started with Ashley. We could start there, because I grew up in a town where everybody took the bus to school. Okay, here in LA, my kids have never been on a school bus except one or two field trips to like museums and shit. But they've been driven to school every morning. Every morning, my wife or myself or carpool, whatever, they get driven to school every morning. I never got in a car to go to school until I had a car my senior year and I was able to drive.
So are they being driven because there's no bus?
There's no bus. Yeah.
There's no bus.
No, there's only a bus if you're a certain like distance away from your school. But the way that they do it, there aren't many. If you stay in your district, you're within that zone, right? So they only bus kids to school who get in on like. If they get in on a lottery or something and they're far away, then there's a bus.
Okay.
But yeah, otherwise no. So, but I grew up walking to the bus stop every morning and being late, right? And like running and being all cold in the winter or really hot in the summer, or those mornings in the spring when it's still super cold in the morning. So you have like a parka on, but it's 80 degrees by the time school's over and you're all hot, right? So I remember all of that. And so just your description in that, the kind of the opening 5 or 6 minutes of being late for school, like I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I totally remember all that, and then also similar. I can't really let any cats out of the bag here, but another project that you and I are working on, it also revolves around someone leaving for school and not coming home. And and that is, man, it's really rough. And so this guy, Lanning, the FBI agent that you were talking to, I had to pause during editing and kind of look up a lot of the shit that he was saying, because I love stuff like this when things aren't like the irony of it, when it's not what you're expecting it to be. And actually the opposite is true. When he said all missing kids aren't abducted and all abducted kids aren't missing. And so I went, before he went into his explanation, I had already started Googling all of that stuff and found out a lot of stuff about what he meant by it. And so I found that interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like I had to rationalize something to understand why this girl's disappearance wasn't immediately taken seriously, why they weren't like, I just can't even imagine that mom, living in this 125 unit complex, being a single mom, trying to figure it out, where's my daughter? And a detective isn't assigned until the next morning. And it's like, it's hard to imagine a 12-year-old running away, but like, according to Ken Lanning, they do, it's on the young side, but they run away. So it's tough with kids because we've cover so many of these cases. And it's like, the mom's like, listen, my kid did not run away, and to not be believed. And then the time, there's 24, 48 hours. That's the window. I don't think it would have made any difference in this case, because I think he probably, unfortunately killed them right away. But it's still going through that of like, help, because my mom was a single mom, and we could have been, I could have been one of these girls.
Did you ever run away as a kid?
No.
Really? You never said, that's it, I'm out of here, when you're like 7 and you're all mad and run away?
I mean, I think I probably did it with my sister, like, we're out of here, that kind of a thing. But just me thinking, I want to run away and be on the streets. I think that just because we were lower on the socioeconomic ladder, like that did not appeal to me because it wasn't a fantasy. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you're like a middle class kid, you're like, yeah, I can just I don't know. I never thought I would be safer on the streets than at home,
Yeah, but I'd have these dreams of like, tying my shit up in a bandana at the end of like a broomstick.
Of course.
Right, like a hobo, right? Like, and riding the trains and like, I'm out of here, kind of. I never got farther in the woods.
I think that if we did anything, my sister and I would more torture our mom and like, we're gonna go to dad's, even though he lived, across the country. You know what I mean? Like, we're out of here.
Yeah.
That kind of fantasy stuff of
Right.
like having our dad save us or whatever. Probably we did that. But I think there is when you are young and you're unhappy with life, you do want that kind of ripcord. But I feel like it was so desperate in this situation, and to not have investigators want to help right away. And maybe they did, I don't know, but just the way that the story went out, it seems like, the searching for her built momentum once they were like, yeah, maybe she didn't run away,
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. A new school year is starting soon, and I can't believe I have a kid in high school, a middle schooler, and my youngest is in his last year of elementary school. My babies are growing up. But here's the thing. I've learned that even though they're not babies anymore, they're still little sponges absorbing everything. And if you're a parent, a new school year means another opportunity for your kids to learn important life skills and continue building independence. And for that, I recommend Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app for families. They have this really cool chore feature that lets you reward kids for honoring their responsibilities around the house, and it's a place where kids learn how to save, invest, and spend their money wisely. And as parents, you've got a front row seat, because you can see what they're spending their money on. So it's a great opportunity to talk financial strategies based on their purchases and also praise them for working hard and saving their money. But with Greenlight's Infinity Plan, there's so much more baked in. Teens have the ability to check in without needing to actually check in, thanks to family location sharing. They can also call for help when they need it with SOS alerts that connect them to family members, 911, or both. There's even a feature that detects car crashes and will connect your young drivers to 911 dispatch and alert emergency contacts if needed. Gotta tell you, with a new driver on the road in our household, this built-in safety feature means peace of mind, which is priceless. No matter which feature makes the most sense for your household, Greenlight is the easy, convenient way for parents to raise financially smart kids and for families to navigate life together. Sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/mischief. That's greenlight.com/mischief to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/mischief.
Okay, people. So we're going to have a promo code for you here in a second. But look, summer's over. Okay, so that means the kids are back in school. And so if you're anything like me, you've got a million activities going on. You've got sports, you've got after school studying, you've got driving, you got picking up, you got a ton of stuff. So what do you want to do to save time? What I love doing to save time is I use America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh. What does it cut out? Grocery shopping. It's a huge time saver for me.
And you know what I love about it is that it's like you don't have to make 50 different meals. I don't know if you run across that in your family, where I've got picky eaters, then I've got really adventurous eaters. So having HelloFresh is a great way to like appeal to everyone. And you can pick those meals ahead of time so nobody feels left out. And I actually learned a thing or two about how to cook from HelloFresh, because I don't know about you, but I've never tried the combination of hoisin sauce and Thai chili sauce together.
Amateur. Okay, I could teach them a thing or two about cooking. That's how much I know about cooking. Okay, I'm the chef.
Anyway.
I'm the chef in the house. Okay. No, I'm
Okay,
kidding.
look out.
No,
Brandon's
listen,
coming in hot.
the other great thing about it to save time is that the average prep time, every meal that I've cooked from HelloFresh, average
Mhm.
prep time is like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Everything's pre-portioned. You
Mhm.
just you follow the instructions. And what's even better about it, and I've said this, HelloFresh sponsors another show that I do, is I cook with my nephew who lives across the street, who's like 11 or 12 years old. He loves cooking. And so it's a great way.
Mhm.
Connections always happen in the kitchen anyway, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, like at parties, everyone winds up in the kitchen and hanging out. And so in my family, same way. And so I just love being in the kitchen with my nephew. We cook, we have a great time. I let him do the sauteing and stuff. Now he's moved up to knife work, which is great because there's always some, even though everything's pre-portioned and the prep time is really low, there's always a couple of things to do so you really feel like you're cooking. It's great. And then clean up, forget about it, super easy, couple dishes. It's awesome. So for time saving, in the summer with HelloFresh, it's great because of the community and the meals are delicious. Now that the kids are back in school and I need to save time, I realize what a benefit it is to not have to
Mhm.
run out to the supermarket, to not have to measure out all of the ingredients. It's a real time saver, and the food's delicious. Last week we did the pork chops with the balsamic glaze. Forget about it.
Mind blown.
Oh, mwah, chef's
And
kiss.
you know what? Even though you're the cook of the house, which I am too,
Uh-huh.
well, most of the time, I notice that they want to see what's going on with these boxes. Like it
Yeah,
brings like an excitement and an energy that
yeah,
they're like, okay, what do we got going on here?
yeah. And
I
the
think
ice
it's safe to
packs and
say
everything.
that we're both Hello Fresh fans, right?
Absolutely. And so listen, not only is the food delicious and it saves you time, for a limited time, kids eat free. Go to HelloFresh.com/mischiefkids to unlock this exclusive offer. One free kids meal per box for 2 months while your subscription is active. That's free kids meals just by going to HelloFresh.com/mischiefkids.
America's #1 meal kit.
Hey all, I'm Jamie Lynn Sigler, a mom, actor, and advocate. I know how overwhelming it can be trying to decide which treatment is right for you. I've been there. But you should know you're not alone. You can do this. Start with some research, talk to the community, and most importantly, don't be afraid to ask your doctor questions. You might find results that speak for themselves. That's how I landed on Kesimpta. Ask your doctor if Kesimpta, ofatumumab, could be right for you. You can check out the details at kesimpta.com.
The guy at the end of the block, was it Ward? Is the last name? The bad guy?
Ward Weaver.
Ward Weaver.
Yeah.
Like I know hindsight is 2020, but how they didn't take a really hard look at this guy right away.
Mm-hmm.
Right away at that. Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because what,
Mhm.
eight months was the investigation took?
Yeah.
You know, and yes, he was a person of interest. And that was the other super interesting thing about Ken Lanning. And Ken's always good for this kind of stuff. The profile type of things, you know, where they say, all right, the profile came back where this guy is going to be selling his shit and he's going to insert himself into the investigation. Okay. And then what does Weaver do? He sells his car with the rugs pulled up, right? And he gives all of these interviews and goes on the
I
fucking
know.
the Today Show or whatever, Good Morning America, and it starts bad mouthing the mom. Oh, the balls on this guy. Yeah.
I
And
know.
so had she so Ashley was the one Ashley was the one who told the teacher that he tried to rape me and I know the difference between
She
rape.
told she told her that he
Failed. He
attempted
tried and
to,
failed. And she was
right, and
trying to,
she
I
would
mean,
know the
the
difference.
teacher broke my heart. The teacher made it sound like Ashley was trying to sound grown up, like making sure she knew what sex was. Like, I know he tried, he didn't succeed, and I know the difference. You
Well,
know?
but
Yeah.
because she'd been molested by
Yeah.
her father.
Oh gosh.
So that's what made her upset and what made her chill to the bone was because she knew the difference. You know, she was 12 years old and knew the difference.
Yeah.
You
That
know, and
oh
that
gosh.
and imagine how cocky Ward Weaver when she turns him in and nothing happens, especially given his history. You know?
Wow.
And then doing what manipulators do and try to turn it on, oh, well, she was a troubled kid.
He was a
You
troubled
know,
kid.
but
Every time you
there's
caught her doing something bad, she'd start saying shit. She'd make up lies. I had to reprimand her for her potty mouth, and then she starts saying that I tried to rape her. Look, that's how the kid is. She's damaged.
I
That's
know, and
awful.
that's what they do. You to be damaged,
Yeah.
turning that on them, and then the mom. Well, she didn't give a shit about where her daughter
Man, she
was.
had
It's
no
like
idea. They needed someone like me looking after them. We'd have these huge
exactly.
sleep. And now you look back and think about his statements about having all these teenage or tween girls
Mhm,
sleeping at his
mhm.
house.
I
Okay.
know.
To him, that's got to be like these kids going into Willy Wonka, right? The chocolate factory, when you see, oh, everything here is beautiful. And him saying you couldn't find a spot on the floor without stepping on a girl.
He was
Can
so
you
excited.
imagine? Oh my God, this
He was
sick
so
fucker.
excited. I know. I
Oh
was
God.
I was like, and then he gets mad at Miranda for warning one of these little girls. It's like the little girls are like having to be so wise for their years. Like, don't stay here, or else what happened to Ashley will happen to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Like
You know,
I'm sure
and
you've
he,
had sleepovers like that at your house, okay? Where there's 15 girls and they're all fucking lunatics, okay? Right? And all I want to do, I want to leave.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
want my
Well,
wife to take care of
because
me.
you're not a molester, Brandon. That's
No,
why.
because I like peace and quiet, Carolyn, okay?
Okay.
I like
In addition to that,
and I'm not a molester. Yes, of course. So I'm just saying the dichotomy of that, like where I just, it's hard for me to even think about this guy. It really is, and how brazen
yeah,
he was with stuff. Asking his kid, "Hey, help me do this. Help me prepare the concrete slab, but I don't
he's
need your help
not only a
to finish
molester,
the
but
job."
he's a lazy one.
Yeah,
He's a lazy one. He
yeah.
had to have his son do all the grunt work.
Except when it comes to putting the body in there, then I don't need you to be here. Let me finish it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And having that interview end with them standing on the concrete, he did that on purpose, and you hit the nail
Oh
on
my
the head.
gosh.
You
Of
hit the nail on the
course.
head. So yeah, he was just getting off on that. Yeah,
You know what's interesting though, and the thing about Ken Lanning is he's got such a it's hard to say an expertise in child molestation, but he does. And
yeah.
I think that what the way he breaks it down is I don't know if it's helpful, but it's good information to have that Ward Weaver was not the type of person that had the personality as like say like these beloved coaches or the clergy person that in the Catholic Church or whatever,
Trust,
like
building
to
trust.
be able to
Yeah,
trust and shower them with love and affection so that they can do this and the kid's not going to tell. Ward was not that.
nope.
He tried it and it didn't work. And Ashley went and told, and it's just a travesty
Yeah.
that nothing was done. And then this happens. But so, you know,
So Ken talks about that. He talks about how, as part of the profile, right, that he tried and he failed, and it was dangerous, but he still wanted to do it. Okay, so he just had to force himself. He goes, finally, it's like, all right, the grooming thing didn't work, to your point, and it
yeah.
frustrated him. So he just
Mhm.
had to force himself on her. And then, oh, geez, I already know that she's going to tell. She already told me once. So I just have to kill her.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know if that's what happened, but
Right, that's what he
I
said.
think
Yeah,
that
again,
that's what he said. And I think that makes, it makes,
totally, it makes sense.
definitely, yeah.
Makes sense. And the super crazy thing about this was that his dad
Bad.
and his son,
Yeah.
he has 3 generations of murderers.
Yeah. I
That's
think the son is, yes, he was involved in a murder, but it sounds like it was a drug deal gone wrong, right? I think that the
still a
dad
murder.
is, huh?
Still a murder.
No, of course. No, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not trying to mitigate it. What I'm saying is that when you're comparing apples to apples, like the dad, the senior and the junior shared the same genetic pool, and their crimes are like he learned from his dad, obviously. I mean, because that's not a coincidence that he would choose to do that. At least I don't think so.
So tell me about Miranda. We've been focused on Ashley.
Miranda is like just a great kid. Her and Ashley and
On the dance team.
all these girls were on dance teams and they just loved it. And, she would help put up flyers for Ashley. And, she's at the bus stop and they're doing that roadblock. And the reporter comes over and she's like, tell me about your friend. And she talks about Ashley. And all of a sudden, a month later, she disappears. They're in the same apartment complex, both walking to the bus stop. She disappears under the exact same circumstances. And the second that Miranda, the difference between the two is that the second that Miranda disappeared, like they knew, there was no question. They were like, she didn't run away. There was none of that. And they knew.
Wow. And so what broke the case?
Well, fortunately, I mean, not fortunately, but like this, he couldn't contain himself and he raped his son's girlfriend.
Fiance. Wasn't his fiance?
I think it was his girlfriend.
Sorry. Oh, the 19-year-old. Yeah. Rape.
19-year-old.
And the son turned him in.
Yeah. So basically what happened was the father, Ward Weaver, told his son or confided in his teenage son, because I'm sure he was 18 or 19, that yes, in fact, he had murdered both girls. And the son didn't tell anyone, didn't tell the girlfriend who was going into their home. And then she's there and he starts trying to rape and strangle her. She barely gets out of there. She's running on foot. And a good Samaritan stops, picks her up, takes her to the first store that they run into. She calls 911. The son calls 911 and he tells her like, hey, my dad just raped my girlfriend. And not only that, he murdered these girls. He told me that he did. So that immediately broke it open.
Everything. Yeah.
It broke everything open.
And so he pled out, but he didn't confess.
He didn't confess.
Still.
Yeah. Apparently, according to an article that I'd read, I think it was either I don't know if it was Ashley's sister or if it was Miranda's sister, but she reached out to him in prison, Ward Weaver. And she's like, just tell me what happened. And according to what she said, he said that I think he said that he killed Ashley because, she was going to tell on him. I think he just killed her because he wanted to. I think that it didn't really, he got away with it. They didn't do anything, and that he saw, according to him, according to what he told her, and I don't know if this is true or not, he would tell her that the morning that Miranda was going to the bus stop, she saw him doing something in the backyard, and he said, I don't think she saw him doing anything. I think he said, listen, Ashley's here. She's scared to come home. Come talk to her. And Miranda believed him and followed him into the house.
Wow. And she didn't get the concrete tomb that Ashley got. She was like in a plastic bag in the fucking barn.
In the shed.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, so they wanted to give him the needle.
Yep.
He didn't want to go to trial because he would have lost, and then would have gotten the needle. So he took a plea deal.
Yep.
And he's serving he's in jail till he dies, no parole. So, and where's he in jail? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but in 2007, he went to the barber. The prison barber, one of the inmates, shanked him like in the neck and in the shoulder, and he survived.
Yeah.
But there was no indication as to why the guy did it. But
wait, who got shanked?
The Ward Weaver.
Ward Weaver got shanked by the barber?
Yeah. The prison barber.
Oh, that's an inside job right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Too bad he survived.
I mean, it's crazy how he could do that, to do all of these interviews and try to portray himself as the victim. We've talked about this, the manipulation, like how and I think Ken Lanning talking about what he was getting off of that, like, it just shows how they think, because who would want to do that? Who would want to be like, yeah, and I care about all the girls that come over to my place, as he's standing over one of them who he entombed, and the other one is in the shed,
Wow. Well, listen, as much as the content upsets me, I really enjoy your storytelling and the people that you get to talk to about it and the clips that you find. Very well told. Disturbing that monsters like that are out there, but hey, listen, he's where he needs to be. I'd prefer maybe he didn't plead out and got the needle, but hey, what are you going to do, right? We live in America, justice, blah blah blah, and he's going to die in jail. Maybe he'll get shanked again. That would be great. That would be great. By some, a prison toothbrush that's carved into a spike or something. Yeah. See if that could happen to him. If anyone in prison is listening.
I really love it when these stories really get to you.
Yeah, it bothers me.
I know.
I have a 12-year-old girl, so
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. Well, listen, like I said, great job. Thank you for your hard work on this one. If you enjoyed the episode, Nation, please go over to Apple Podcasts and give us a rate and review, maybe even share with some of your friends. It helps out more than you know. And please consider supporting the great companies that support our show. Without them, we couldn't do it. So stay safe until next time. Carolyn, would you like to add anything?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Thanks for listening, Nation. See you soon.
Bye.
From Cloud 10, Criminal Mischief is a pie-in-the-sky production, recorded in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. We're produced by Brandon Morgan and myself, music by Soundstripe. I'm Carolyn Osorio, your writer and host.